Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Small Talk on the Mats. Today's guest is the founder of his own law firm in Los Lunas. With over 40 years of experience, he has built his practice fighting for the injured New Mexicans, taking on large insurance companies, etc. He's a lifelong New Mexican, a cowboy rancher, a proud product of the public school system with family roots going back to 1700s. We'll go over that. Known for treating clients like family and giving back to the community, he truly represents the heart of New Mexico. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, David Chavez. How's it going, sir?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Thank you for coming in this afternoon. Appreciate it. We're as local as red and green. So besides all of that, we pride ourselves as being as local as red and green. We're one of the few attorneys, litigation attorneys, trial attorneys, injury attorneys, people that handle personal injury that are actually from New Mexico.
Okay.
90% of the attorneys that advertise in Albuquerque, they're not from New Mexico. They're from other states. They come in, they'll open up a post office. They don't contribute to New Mexico. They don't give back to New Mexico. And they come in and harvest what they can. They have certain commercials that they advertise. They advertise heavily, but at the end of the day, they're not local, and they don't really care about New Mexicans. I mean, we do. We're from here. They're our family. We treat people and understand the importance of being able to represent people from New Mexico because we're for New Mexico.
Right.
And then 90%, 99% of attorneys, if you look at their billboards, what do they have? We raised 100 million, 33 million, 1 billion. So what? You've got offices all over the country, and you're talking about resolving cases in an exponential number, not about equality. So we are about quality, we're about family, we're about taking care of individuals who are injured, and then they become our family.
Yeah,
they become close to us. So we've been doing this for over 40 years. We handle automobile collision cases. And we help people on the cases that it's a fender bender.
Yeah.
The other firms will take solo 20 cents on the dollar, 30 cents on the dollar, just because they've got to move the cases through, and it's about quantity, not quality.
Gotcha.
And so we take our time with our clients. I mean, when you call us, you're going to meet with me, you're going to see me. You're never going to see the other billboard attorneys who advertise in.
Okay.
They're just not from here, and they're going to have an attorney that they hire that can practice law in New Mexico. But at the end of the day, they have no interest in New Mexico, no ties. And we pride ourselves as to our giving back.
Yeah.
I mean, that's important, right?
Right, yep. Giving back to the community. Yep.
And that's what we do. And if you look on our Facebook page, our website, you'll see the millions of dollars. I mean, it's substantial. And I'm not bragging, but I'm pointing out that we really do give back. We reinvest in our community. This last weekend, we just opened 4 basketball courts at the Legacy Center.
Okay.
And so they're professional grade basketball courts. They have pickleball and basketball and volleyball. Okay. So if the community, all of Albuquerque, it's right across from Legacy Church on Central and
Coors.
Yeah, Coors, yes, sir. Yeah, okay. Central and Coors. There's the big dome, and then Legacy purchased the call center that used to be there.
Across the street.
4 acres.
Okay.
4 acres.
Wow.
Under a roof.
Okay.
Yeah. 4 acres. It's massive. And we were asked to participate, and so we said absolutely. So we went ahead and built and paid for the 4 courts.
That's amazing.
It is amazing, and they're huge. And then it has a running track around the top of it.
Wow.
And so a lot of events. So we were out there this Friday, on the dedication of that. So
Okay.
that's one of the projects that we handle. We built other basketball courts for parochial schools.
Okay.
Because I think it brings in the sports aspect of activities and letting individuals know you may not be on a basketball team, but you may want to enjoy basketball, maybe with your family or with a club team or with some of your friends. So you're welcome to come to the Legacy Center to play basketball there.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's a good summarization of your background. It sounds like you're very involved in the community, which is great. And like you said, going with your law firm too, staying involved with the community, being from New Mexico, representing the people. It sounds like you already have the advantage off the bat with anybody else here in New Mexico. So
well, it's because we care. So these other law firms kind of swarmed in during COVID, and they just came in with a lot of billboards. I mean, their budgets are millions of dollars. So while they were doing that, we were working in the city of Albuquerque. We have a program called Steel Bridge, and that's for homeless individuals that are on the street of Albuquerque. And what we do is and all these funds we're talking about, it's private. It's through Legacy Church. It's through Legacy Giving. It's through contributions. It's not people. We help, but we're certainly part of a bigger picture.
Yeah.
And so people that donate $1 or $5 or $10, it all adds up. And so all those contributions make Legacy Church happen. And the people that go to Legacy, I've never seen a more generous, caring, loving group of individuals who are there to just love the Lord. They love to worship, and they're so generous in their giving. And so giving inspires giving. So when people give, other people want to give because you want to be a part of it. Not that you're being sold on any type of project, but you're being part of it, and you get to join in regardless. You may not have funds, but you might be able to help with the food bank and load bags and help that way. But we have Steel Bridge here. It's a program, and so we take in individuals off the street who want to come. They ask to come. We don't go out and recruit because we're packed. And there's so many individuals. So what we want to do, again, we try to focus on New Mexicans. A lot of vagrants are really not from New Mexico. They just come here because of the benefits that they can receive, or the weather, whatever it may be. But New Mexico is somewhat of an attraction to vagrants and transient and individuals. The true homeless we're talking about veterans on the street. We're talking about people that that couldn't afford their rent payments and are out, or something terrible happened. So we give them an opportunity to come in, but there's some rules. We have rules.
Of course.
So one rule is no drugs. You use drugs in the program, you bring in drugs, you're out of the program.
Yeah.
Number two, we'll help you detox. So we'll start off on the very basic ways to get people detoxed. After they get detoxed, then we'll start moving you into the home. It's barracks. We have men and women available. Yeah. Kind of barrack style. Yeah. But they have duties and responsibilities. So it's not a place where you just come in and hang out like a lot of state-run programs. Right. No, you have to come in and participate. You have to clean your room. You have chores. You have responsibilities. And then you have duties around the facility itself, whether you're cooking, you're cleaning, you're washing dishes, whatever is needed, doing laundry. Yeah. But everybody has to make their beds, and they have to keep it clean. It's a very clean environment. Yeah. We don't allow any fighting or dangerous activities to go on. It's not a prison. Yeah. Yeah. This is voluntarily done with people who we really believe want to get rehab. So we take them through that program, and then they have to go to church. Okay. And it's like, why do you make people go to church? We don't make them go to church, but if you want to be into our program to where we're going to invest into you, then it is the rules of the program. And I just don't know how anyone can get rehabilitated without Christ.
Yeah.
I do you?
No.
I mean,
That's incredible.
You can try different medications, psychic type of treatment, psychological treatment.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you always have that hole, and everybody has a hole that only is filled by accepting Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. And when you fill that hole, then you can set aside the drugs, the bad behavior, the activities, and there's a lot of bad behaviors and a lot of bad activities where it's excess alcohol, it's drugs, it's people losing hope, and that's the worst part of any program. That when individuals have that sense of loss of hope, what is there left? There's nothing left.
Yeah.
And you just see individuals on the street who are just wandering out there. They just have, you can see it in their eyes, in their face. They don't have have hope. So we bring them into the program, get them to know the Lord, and then after we do that, we get a GED. You'll get educated.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, you come in, we'll get you educated, we'll get you a GED, we have classes for that, and then we're going to help you find a job. And whatever the job is, it's minimum wage, but it's a job, because now you have a reason, you have a pride in what you're doing. You have a purpose. So let's find a purpose for you. Let's find a career, whatever you might like to do. But there's always a place for everyone. There's always a need.
Yeah.
So let's find out what that need is, and then we'll help you get a job. You start earning your money, and then you need to get out of the program, because we got to get one more back in.
Right.
So it's not a continuum. Now, what we've learned is that our success rate is very low.
Okay.
It's very low, and that's a very disappointing thing because of the amount of funds that we invest in Steelbridge.
Yeah.
And so what we see is when individuals get back, when they've gone through the program, they're successful in the program, they have great success stories, then they go back to their community, and now what happens? They go back to the people they were with, and instead of them being lifting them up, there's a recidivism rate that goes down.
So going back into their environment,
and that's hard. It's so frustrating for us. It's one of the most frustrating things. So
for sure,
what we're working on is a mentorship program where when individuals get out of the program, then they'll mentor other individuals who are in the program, trying to bring them along, as well as trying to find other places to live. And I think that's kind of one of the goals that we're going to be working on next, is to trying to find more of housing where people who can go through the program then go to a place, because that place is either in a structured environment.
Right.
And I think there's one or two generations that need a structure. They just have to have a structure. They just can't keep it together. We get up on time. The first thing I do when I get up is I make my bed, because it's my first accomplishment of the day. So you build on that every day. You start with one small task, and then you build throughout the day, and you build task upon task upon task to get accomplishments after accomplishments. So then you say, at the end of the day, it was a productive day. It wasn't a wasteful day. It starts off the day right.
Okay. Yeah. So going back into them going back into the community, I mean, just explaining all that off the bat is crazy, because you never hear that. I've never heard of that. A structured program that helps them from A all the way to Z, right? Despite the success rate, I mean, you've done your part. You've done your share of things of helping these people. I don't know what the numbers look like, but
they're not good. Hopefully
they can increase, right? With the mentorship program being involved as well.
Yeah, we're working on that. And if any viewers have any ideas, or you want to come help and volunteer at Steelbridge, please. We welcome the help. We welcome individuals who come, and we'll help individuals or teach them. Everybody has something to give. So if anybody watching your podcast says, well, I'm disabled, I can't really get out, you can teach. You can help individuals learn English and you can teach them basic math skills, and you can teach them basic grooming skills, how to present for a job interview. So, talking to your audience, call Steelbridge, call our director. If you want to help and be part of Legacy, we welcome you to come to church services and be part of that. Because we have everyone gets to participate. It's a large, it's called a mega church, but it's a small church because there's so many people, and we have so many different ways that people can contribute.
Right. Yeah, and anybody and everyone can contribute one way or another. Yeah, somebody always has something to give back, for sure, especially being involved in church.
Yeah, you just have to recognize what is your talent. What do you like? What brings you joy? And you start from that platform, and then you go, oh, okay, I like doing ABC, and then we connect with other people that enjoy, you have that same interest, and then you just go from there. So Steelbridge is another program that we sponsor. The next program that we're already working on is going to be a state-of-the-art football stadium in Albuquerque.
Wow, okay.
So we don't know exactly where that location is going to be, but on the when we had the dedication this Friday, I brought it up. And right at the end of the presentation, they had a video clip of the stadium, what it's going to look like. So again, we need a lot of help on that, but we have to finish the first program we're working on now through Legacy Church, and that's called Just One More. And so what that program is it's just bringing one more to Christ, bringing just one more.
Of course.
And the way we do that is through the Legacy Center. It's just an amazing facility. The work that has gone into it, and the pace that they've kept to actually the construction pace for what they've done. I'll have to take you out there because it's just phenomenal. It's unbelievable. And this is all done with private funds. This is all done from people from Legacy Church who are so generous. And so you've got the that facility being built out. So we're going to finish that Just One More campaign, and I think we're going to finish that pretty quickly. And that encompassed raising over $26 million. Okay. And so it's a Legacy Center, and then Rio Rancho, the church was able to buy a theater of all things.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I see that. Right. We live in Rio Rancho, so we're right there down the street from there.
And so you've seen the amount of construction that's going on there.
Yeah.
So I mean, what Legacy Church does, and then we give away millions of dollars from Legacy Church. It's not just takers and reinvesting into these facilities and buildings, which all belong to the Legacy Church. It doesn't belong to one individual. It belongs to the church. And so it's not belonging to any one person. Pastor Steve is the most generous, kind person that you could have. He's firm, he's solid, and he's unwavering in his faith. And so, as a mentor to me, I appreciate that because it's important to be able to have someone who you can listen to, follow, that gives very important messages and practical messages that we can carry out through our lives, through our family, through our work, through our relationships.
Yeah, of course.
So
yeah.
As you can tell, I'm a huge Legacy guy.
Yeah. So, I mean, you've thrown it all out there. I mean, church, Legacy, gyms, the youth, the homelessness out there, education. That's amazing. Like, God bless you, man. That's amazing.
Yeah, we also have partnered with the Hustle with Kurt. He's the owner operator of some of the local radio stations in Albuquerque. And
okay.
This year we did. He calls me up and says, "Hey, will you want to participate in this or that?" And we always do because he always has great ideas and things that he's working on. So right before Christmas, we did a board giveaway. And so what that meant is for kids, they would play board games. So
okay.
We didn't buy video games. We didn't buy anything electronics. We bought board games and contributed that way. But just a lot of board games. And then we went to the different schools. There was a couple down here in Valencia County, a lot in Albuquerque. And the little kids would come out and they would get their board game, and they were so excited because what that does is, number one, it's going to cause them to use their mind.
Yeah.
Because I got to think. It's not just pressing a button. It's not being on my phone. Number two, I'm with my family because you can't play a board game by yourself. You got to have someone to participate and play with. So you're off the phone. You're engaged with your family, and you're using your mind. So we gave away thousands of board games, and that was quite successful. We did Special Olympics. We did a tractor pull for Special Olympics. We sponsored that in Valencia County, and it was a fire truck pull. And so you get a team together, and you get a rope, and then you pull whoever can pull the fire truck whatever distance over a certain time, right?
Yeah.
So they did that, and it was really a successful event. We did that as well. And then one of the highlights of the year was our Christmas, I guess it was Thanksgiving turkey giveaway. So we gave away over 600 turkeys in the community. We did 300 one day at schools in the South Valley for targeted families. And so the families in need, through the schools, we partnered with about 3 or 4 different schools, and I asked the United team, the soccer team, to come with us and join us, and they brought some staff and people that helped out. We bought 300 turkeys that day, and we gave them out. And then the next day, we partnered with Jeff Symbieta with New Mexico Bowl game. That's the football game, which we had. We also sponsored that, and we were part of the New Mexico Bowl, where they played the bowl game in New Mexico. Yeah, this year they had West Texas and San Diego played, and it was a great game. Yeah, high scoring. It was a great game. And our New Mexico coach had played at the bowl game in Phoenix at the State Farm Stadium. Yeah. So he was out there, so he flew back in, and he was there, and he's doing a great job with he won all his games with this year. Just did a phenomenal year. And then they lost in overtime. That was an exciting game as well. Yeah. So they came and did the game, and so we were out there for the Fiesta Bowl, and we partnered with them to give away another 300 turkeys, and we did it at the old Dairyland Creamland building on Broadway. Yeah, it's a rough area. Yeah, it's a rough area, and I can't tell you the joy and the feelings that you get from that, because you have people just coming by saying, "Hey, I didn't know if I was going to have Thanksgiving. Hey, thank you," and that's all you need. It's just a thank you, if that. Yeah. But it's not. It wasn't anything to feel ashamed about. It was like, "Hey, we're here. This is what this is about." We had a lot of homeless people come by. I said, "Hey, here's a turkey." We gave them. I said, "Do you need us to help you cook it? We can get it done at the Salvation Army. We can get it done at Steel Bridge to help cook the turkeys for them." And I don't know what happened to them, but they took them and they were happy. Yeah. So, yeah. We did our part with trying to help them have a blessed Thanksgiving. Of course. But it was. We're going to do that every year as well. This was the first year that we did the turkey giveaway. It was just something that was laid on our heart to do. It wasn't anything that we'd planned for the year. I think it was a month before Thanksgiving, and I talked to my staff and I said, "Hey, why don't we do a turkey giveaway?" And a lot of that was because, remember, you had the government shutdown. Yeah. And you had a lot of people that were not getting paid. And it's wrong. It's wrong. Whatever political party you're on. The Democrats stopped it, holding out, but then you finally had 6 Democrats, break the tie and come on board. But that was just a rough area, and I fly crisscross across the country all the time, and so during this shutdown, you had the TSA workers there. They were there. The air traffic control workers were there. The federal workers were there. So these are individuals that didn't have to be there. They weren't getting paid,
Right.
but they still showed up.
Right.
And so I think that was I know that was a part of why we wanted to do that as well, just to help out. And it's just a tiny bit. It's
Yeah,
just-
I mean, he's doing more than most people are, though.
but
So,
it's just one more, one at a time. We can't take care of the whole problem, but we can let people know that we're out there, we care, we're in the community. So again, that's the type of law firm we have. I mean, we have one of the top law firms. So now transition from our giving into what we do, because the giving is the most important part of who we are and what we do, and it's based on our results. So the results we get, we had in 2025 we resolved a cataclysmic. So you have terrible you have rear end fender benders. Then you have terrible collisions. You have collisions that are catastrophic, and then you have cataclysmic. A cataclysmic is the worst of the worst. It involves just the most terrible type of collisions that occur, and it's just destructive. It just destroys people's lives when people are at a certain place at a certain time, and you just say it's your time. You know, you have other people who live through collisions that shouldn't live. They just should not have lived through it, and there are people that get in these cataclysmic collisions that die in a very horrible deaths, and painful deaths. And so we come in. We have a great team of semi-truck attorneys here, experienced, and we're well experienced in all collision cases and accident cases too. We handle semi-truck collisions. And then we handle a lot of those collisions, just a lot of cataclysmic injuries of people who have lost everything. So we resolved this case for $100 million. It's a lot of money, a lot of money. And so at that point, so then you collect the funds to the family, and then the money's not going to bring anybody back.
Right.
So even though you've collected a huge amount of money and funding, to them it means nothing. It means nothing. These family members even feel guilt-ridden about getting the case resolved for X amount, because it was their family that paid the price. So 99. I don't know any attorneys that do what we do, but what we try to do is when that happens to families, we then try to help them find a purpose of their life, a way in their life. What can I do with this, with these resources? How can I make the area better? How can I give back to this community? What can I do in my life that's going to enrich other people's lives? So what I talked about of what we do in our law firm and how we give back it's the enrichment part. It's how we can leave a legacy, so when we're dead and gone, it's just not vapor. It's not just and then what? So what we're trying to do is build and develop programs and that will live out my lifetime and will live out my family's lifetime and will just be there for generations in this community. So we take individuals who are broken, and these are individuals who are completely broken, and we cry with them and we pray with them. We'll work 18 months nonstop, and I have the best experts around the country. I work and associate with the top attorneys. We're called Dragon Slayers. That's a name that a group, an organization which I created, and it's an elite group of attorneys that are there as dragon slayers who believe in Christ, who have a testimony to give, who dedicate themselves night and day to slay the dragons and to be the protectors of our clients. So that's kind of why we created Dragon Slayers, and why I created it. And other people, and it's a very elite group. There's only a handful of us that are in there that throughout the country that have these beliefs, and they're God-given beliefs, and they're God driven. And so we'll get the funding and get the recovery, and then what we try to do is help individuals where they can be philanthropists. They can get programs developed that they're interested in to help the community. So the wealth is there, and then we'll help them create generational wealth as well. So we'll help them work on projects and programs and ideas where they can put their money into. Now they have a purpose. So you've taken something bad and you've turned it into something good. Good for humanity, good for Christ, with bringing opportunities to other people. Not just handouts. We're not talking handouts. We're talking a help up. A hand up. Not just here's a bunch of money. It's like, here's what you can do. We may start a trade school. That if they have an interest in a certain trade that their kids were involved in who passed away, they may start their own private trade school. It's not a government trade school. They may a partnership or affiliate with some 2-year school or community college, because in our society now, the trades are lost. AI is not going to replace plumbing, HVAC, people that can build things, carpenters, and people that do blacksmithing and woodwork and all these trades, and they make a ton of money. I mean, how many people do you know, plumbers, framers, they're making $100,000 a year because nobody wants to do the job. And if you're skilled, you're dedicated, you show up at work, you do the best you can, you're going to get compensated for it. And so the trades area is something that we focus in on with the family members that we have of how we can help others build careers, not just jobs. And then we also will look at building the generational wealth for their families, and so they'll have the legacy. And then their kids will be able to do philanthropic work as well with the funds that we've created generational. So it just can live on and on and on. I had this one family that they were broken. Their mother had been killed, and there was 5 children. 3 were alcoholics, and 1 was mentally disabled, and 1 held the family together. So they all became multi-millionaires from the recovery. And they said, hey, we want our money. And I said, hey, we're going to do something with your money. So if I just give you the money, what do you want to do? Well, I got my friends, my family, I'm going to buy them each a vehicle. A new vehicle. Well, how many friends do you have now in family? 10 to 15. And they can afford it. I said, hey, we're not going to do that. Let's help them with getting some type of career and help them that way. If you want to give scholarships, but don't just give them money on something that they're not going to appreciate. So and I had them buy homes. They each had to buy a home. I went out and helped them get a home. They all had to get jobs.
Good.
And they all had to get off the streets. They then had we structured it in a way where they could have annuities coming in, where they could have so much to pay for the utilities, so they would not, and so much to pay for their taxes, the property taxes. So they had money to the property taxes. They had money for the utilities. They had money for repairs. So we also create a repair account. So we create different accounts where they can draw monies from. And then we create an account where they can buy a car or a truck so they can have transportation. And then we make sure that they get a job. And now once we structure it all up, now we'll turn your money over to you. No attorney does that. But we know what will happen if we just give them a check within 3 months, 6 months, the millions of dollars that they've recovered through the loss of their loved one will be gone.
Right. Yeah.
And then we also have, we work with the top wealth managers in the country.
Okay.
So we actually set them up because nobody knows where to go.
Right.
Nobody knows who to go. So we give them suggestions, and then they'll meet with the different wealth managers. They'll give them their proposals, and then the client decides what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
They all are so appreciative. But again, we'll spend, after a case is resolved, and we do these, we do the post work, we'll spend 200 hours pro bono. We don't charge for it. We just help.
Yeah.
To make sure that those monies are going to be used properly.
Yeah. Yeah. When someone's giving that much money, in one sitting, a lot of people are not going to know what to do with it, especially if they don't know how to finance, save, put anything aside. Yeah, you're right. That money will be gone. Like lottery winners, that money's just gone 2-3 months. So that's good. What you guys are doing, the pro bono too, that's amazing. That's incredible.
We try to, again, make sure that we're building generational wealth. We're building philanthropic work where people can decide what their interests are, not what our interests are. It's what is your interest? What was your kid's interest that passed away? What was your mom's interest that passed away? What do you have? And so those are the cases that we can make a difference. The other side of the other side of the coin, or the other side of the page, is where you can have a cataclysmic injury. There is zero recovery. There's no one to recover from. The person that hit and killed and wiped out your family had no insurance. The person that comes in to see us, whose family was killed, they didn't have uninsured or underinsured coverage, or they had $25,000. So in a lot of these death cases that we handle, that may be it. That may be the full recovery. Because in New Mexico, the limits of liability are $25,000 liability and $50,000 comprehensive. So each person can collect up to $25,000 under the liability portion of the coverage. So I get in an accident with you. It's my fault. I only have $25,000. You are dead. I have no other assets. The most your estate's going to recover is the $25,000 in New Mexico. So that if you have no coverage, you didn't get underinsured or uninsured coverage, that's all you get is the 25. So we educate clients, we educate the public. I do a lot of TV, I do a lot of radio, I do a lot of podcasts like we're doing now. We're talking about to where we can educate people, and that's another aspect is no other attorneys will do this, is the educational aspect of what do I need to do pre-collision? What do I need to do in the event that I'm in a collision? What are the things I should do once I'm in a collision? Who should I contact? You call me, you're going to talk to me 24/7. You can get in touch with me or my staff members. We're always available. And you're going to not talk to a hotline. You're not going to talk to someone at a call center for an out-of-state attorneys that are from Texas, that are from Illinois, that are from Ohio, that are from Arizona, that are from California. This one guy, let me think, I can't think of his name. He's got a real corny name. Anyway, he has a case where the client called me and said, "Hey, David, I want you to represent me." And I said, "Well, are you got an attorney?" He says, "Yeah." So we got to file that attorney because I can't talk to someone who's already hired one because it'd be a conflict of interest and it's unethical.
Right.
So he said, okay. He fired him. Sweet James, terrible law firm from California. And Sweet James, I did talk to you and I told you we're a terrible law firm in New Mexico and you should get out of New Mexico. You have no business being in New Mexico because of what they did and how they operate. So he, the office calls me up and says, "Hey, this is our client." I said, "No, they fired you." They went back out and solicited that person to get him back into to hire him again. Yeah. And so then he gets fired again, but it's just a huge fight over people. We don't fight over clients. I mean, if they want us to represent them, they come to see us because of our reputation. We have the staff. We've got attorneys that are the best in the country. One of my attorneys just this year, she was nominated by me and accepted on Super Lawyers. I've been a super lawyer for a number of years. It's an elite group of attorneys. Another one of my attorneys, he was named as the attorney in the county. So, I mean, our attorneys are top rated. So we have the staff, we have the personnel, we have the attorneys, we have the experience, we have the motivation, we have the drive. Nobody is going to outwork us. I mean, no law firm, and we go against defense firms nationally. Not any law firm is going to ever outwork us. We'll outwork them. And they always tell me that at the end of the case. They'll say, we've never seen anybody as aggressive, but we're professional. We never are not professional. We handle ourselves in a very professional manner. We handle it through the legal system. We don't do our through ranting and raving and putting on a big show. It is a surgical.
Yeah.
We go in. We know exactly what we're doing. We were handling a number of cases where we just crisscrossed the country. We'll spend to prepare for a deposition. We'll spend 100-hour plus on one deposition. So if I'm going to take your deposition, I'll spend 100 hours to get ready to take a person's deposition, and then I'm going to go to that deposition personally. I hate to do it by Zoom. Zoom has a purpose, but I will go take depositions personally. I didn't like Zoom. I tried jury cases during Zoom, and it was very difficult to do.
Yeah, anything virtual is pretty difficult.
It was difficult, and so we will actually go out, and you're going to see us, you're going to meet us, and we're going to be with you, and we're going to be there from the first day. And we get hired on these cataclysmic cases. It's like, well, when do I call an attorney, David? Well, you call us immediately. On these cataclysmic cases, the sooner we get out there, we have our own investigator, we have our own accident reconstruction team. We have, and what we do that's very different is we don't look to who caused the collision. In other words, that's easy. Like, I run into you, I caused the collision. But what we do is we look to what was the cause of the collision? What was the cause of the death? Was it a defect? Was it a roadway? Was it a turn? Was it built correctly? Was the vehicle built correctly? Did it fail? Was there a defect in the road? Was there a defect in the tire when the car has the tires blown out, or you see the tires off a car on the road? Well, did it go off the road and then the tires blow out, or did the tires blow out and then it went off the road? There's so many issues that we look for products liability. We handle medical malpractice cases, and those are very challenging. So medical malpractice cases, we looked. There's two ways that malpractice is committed, and we don't just take any case. We love our doctors in New Mexico. We don't have a whole lot of doctors in New Mexico, so we're very, very careful in taking medical malpractice cases. And again, this is where you have a tragic, catastrophic or cataclysmic type of death, where something happened with the medical doctor and things just went really, really south. They went bad. And you have malpractice in two ways. You have malpractice when the doctor did something they should not have done, or they should have done something that they did not do. And so they breach what's called the standard of care. So when you have a breach of the standard of care based upon what a reasonable doctor would have done in that circumstance, when you have a breach of that standard of care, then there may be a malpractice case. And we've taken on cases, and we look at all cases. We probably look at every month. We probably look at 30 malpractice cases a month, and we may take 5 a year.
Okay.
We may take 5 a year because in 99% of those cases, there is malpractice, but the person got better. So the doctor may have messed up, may have done something they should not have done, or they failed to do something they should have done, but the person got better.
Okay.
The person was was terribly ill, but then they got better. So yeah, they had a case, but thank God they don't have a case, because if they did have a case, they would not be either alive, or they would be in a terrible physical condition.
Okay.
Bedridden.
Yeah. So are these clients the people that were affected by the doctor that are calling you, giving you all these cases, or is it family members for the ones that are not able to fend for themselves?
So one thing that we pride ourselves is that we're the voice for the victims. We are that voice. We're the voice of justice, and it's our job to do a justice, not to do an injustice. So just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. Mm-hmm. So you have to have restraint on being able to wield a big sword. That's why we're dragon slayers.
Yeah, dragon slayers.
But we have to be restrained. So we have to show restraint. We have to, just because we could go after a company, a corporation, a multi-billion, and we handle cases that are multi-billion-dollar companies. I mean, companies with car manufacturers, Ford, Chrysler, Chevy, huge companies, Halliburton, Fortune 500 companies. Going, David, how can you possibly be that good? You come from Los Lunas. you went to school in Belen High School, man. When I went to school, I was at the counselor's office, and my mom's like, "Okay, David, you're going to go to school at New Mexico State." And went to see the counselor, and the counselor says, "He ain't going to school." He says, "This guy will go to trade school." And my mom said, "No, he's going to go to college." So I went to college, and here we are. We're one of the top injury attorneys in the country, and we're recognized throughout the country. And we come from Los Angeles, New Mexico. But when you actually look at other attorneys and where they come from the top attorneys.
Yeah,
they come from small communities like us.
Okay. All right.
They come from small communities. They're not all. Now, the attorneys that handle these cases for multi-billion-dollar companies, they come from Los Angeles. They come from New York. They come from Chicago. They come from Miami. They come from big cities, big law firms, and again, they'll come and they'll hire a local attorney. And the local attorneys here, defense attorneys, I know them all. They're nice people. I get along with all of them. And that's another thing we do is we don't build barriers and we don't build walls. We build bridges.
Okay.
And so we practice that way with. The other attorneys when we have depositions, I'll bring in lunch, I'll bring in breakfast, I'll bring in dinner if we need to stay, and they're not used to it. Nobody does anything like that. Nobody has the manners and the courtesy to just because you're adversarial doesn't mean you have to really dislike that person. Most of them don't even know them. Mm-hmm. So you get to know each other. But you then battle on the legal front, not on the legal front and the personal side. Because when it gets personal, then you lose focus of the case. You lose focus of what you're trying to do for your client. You lose focus of trying to help people.
Yeah. Okay. What's up, everybody? This podcast is brought to you and sponsored by the Rock Family Therapy. Not every battle is fought in combat. Some are fought in silence, in your head, in your home, or behind the mask you wear every day. At the Rock Family Therapy, they stand with those who fight to rise again. Veterans, first responders, parents, or anyone carrying the weight of trauma, loss, or stress. This isn't just talk therapy. It's rebuilding from the inside out. It's mental conditioning for life. A place to reset, refocus, and rise stronger. Whether your uniform is military, professional, or just the armor you put on to make it through the day. If you're ready to face what's been holding you back, they're ready for you. Call or text 505-336-0238 or email r.villy@therockfamilytherapy.com or visit therockfamilytherapy.com because warriors come in many forms and every warrior needs a rock. What's up, everybody? This podcast is sponsored and brought to you by Toehold. As you know, I've been a longtime customer and supporter of Toehold. I'll give you 3 reasons why I love this company. 1 is because they're huge supporters of veterans, law enforcement, and first responders. 2nd reason is because everything is American made with integrity as it should be. And 3rd reason is because they have the best customer service that you'll ever receive with timely responses. Now, their main focus is flip-flops that'll last you a lifetime, but they also sell caps, shirts, rash guards, wallets, you name it. One of my favorite ethically sourced exotic leathers here is Murder Hippo flip-flops. We got stingray, elephant, crocodile. And if you don't want an exotic leather, you got different options on vegetable tan leather with stamps and colors. And going to the wallets here, we got zebra, we got stingray, we got John Wayne style minimalist wallet, and then going to the key fobs. So guys, go show your support. You have so many options with different exotic leathers. Go show your support for AG and Toehold. Tell them I sent you. Thank you. Peace out. So that just shows what you've explained so far. You've expressed your humility, your gratitude, your legacy as a whole, which is very exciting. This all the information that you dispersed is very exciting. I like that. So the reason I asked you to send me a bio, right, was because I wanted to base some questions. So we got to know your law firm as a whole, right, but more as an individual. So I had a few questions here just to break it down to know, so the audience and followers and your people can know you more as an individual rather than your law firm as a whole. Because already like I said, you've expressed your gratitude, your humility, like everything. You can tell who you are as a person from what you just explained, and your law firm as a whole. So I'm just going to give you a few questions just so, again, we can know you as more as a person individually. So
we didn't go over these questions.
No.
You didn't submit these questions.
Yeah, no. The audience knows I never send my questions beforehand because it makes things interesting and exciting. So, one of the main things you said was you're as local as red and green chili, right? So, how did growing up in Belen shape who you are today?
Well, it's just through my mom and dad were very humble people. I think that's where you get shaped is from your family and how you're raised, and being raised in a small community in Belen, having the strong values. I mean, my parents had strong values, and we see a lot of people who come broken. I mean, they come from homes with alcoholism and with abuse, and we just had a model mom and dad.
Mm-hmm.
My dad was a lawmaker. He served in the legislature for 20 years. He was lieutenant governor, and he served on the bench as a judge. In fact, when he passed away, he was a judge. He had a massive heart attack when he was 79. So, okay. But he was on the bench in Valencia County. I couldn't appear before him, but I was a practicing attorney by that time. So I'm as local as red and green because of the roots and the heritage that our parents instilled in us. When I was a young boy, I told I'm a young kid, maybe 10 years old, and we're driving up to Chama fishing because my mom and dad like to go fishing up there. And so again, a lot of family trips, a lot of family involvement. And so I said, Dad, am I Hispanic or am I gringo? Because my mom was Anglo. And I'm just stirring the pot. I'm just stirring it. And my dad says, well, he says, you're an American. And that's the way my dad thought. He's like, okay, you're always an American first. So he gives me a history lesson on being an American. It's a long drive. It's 5 hours. So we have a lot of time. So he talks about that. So then he tells me about that, and I pushed the needle more, and I said, "But look, Dad, you're Hispanic, Mom's Anglo. What am I?" And then he goes on, and my dad was this historian, and he was also an herbalist. So my dad loved history, and he knew history. He could take you, and you would tell him your name and who your parents were, and he would trace your roots back to where, if you're Spanish, he would take them back to Spain.
Oh, wow.
He would take everybody's, and he knew everyone, and he had this amazing mind. So he took me on the journey from the Spanish side, and then he took me from the journey from my mom's side, who was Anglo, so her roots get traced back to England, right? So I push it, and I said, Dad, I get it. you're Hispanic, mom's Anglo, but my heart is with the Hispanics, and I'm going to be a Hispano. And my mom says, okay, you be a Hispano, but don't bring your little Hispano stomach around my gringo table. And I said, Mom, I want to be, I'm good. I'm good gringo too. Immediately. I was not hard-headed.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how you get trained up, and I was just blessed. I was so blessed. And then I wasn't a rebel either. I wasn't a fool to where I took things for granted. I mean, I respected my mom and dad, and that just came from within. Mm-hmm. So my brothers were different, and I saw what they did, as teenagers and going through all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I always respected my mom and dad, and I got belted. Mm-hmm. I got disciplined. But for the most part, it was just a very wholesome life. We had horses. We were raised on a farm. We would go shooting and hunting, and a lot of just living the American life, the American dream.
Yeah.
And so, I think that my dad's parents grew up in the Depression. My mom's did too. So they saw a lot of poverty. They experienced it, but we didn't. We did not experience poverty.
Mm-hmm.
We were so blessed, and my dad worked so hard. So I came from a traditional family.
Okay.
So my mom stayed home. She was a housewife. She raised the 4 boys. My dad would go to the office, and he was an attorney as well. So he would go, but he worked hard. He would work hard for his family. Made sure we all got an education. Paid for that. Paid for all of our college, paid for my law school. So when I got out of law school, I had no debt.
Wow.
I had nothing.
Wow.
That's generosity.
Yeah.
And so I think that's why it speaks to why we practice generosity. I mean, it's through Legacy Church, but generosity is part of us. It's in the bone. It's in the marrow of our bones. It's in the marrow of my bones.
Yeah. It sounds like it. So your parents sound like great people. For sure. So from public schools to agriculture to law school, how did that journey prepare you to fight for the people that you fight for today?
So the cases that I've handled now, we just got this one case resolved for $100 million, and it's against a multi-billion-dollar company. So God knows the timing for me. Mm-hmm. And all of our clients are put in our place through God. It's not just, it happened. There's no way that this journey happens. There's no way that people come in with these cataclysmic injuries and comes to see David C. Chavez from Los Lunas. Mm-hmm. They don't pick mega plaintiffs' attorneys who advertise, who really are just all paper tiger. They don't have any substance, but they come to see me because of our reputation, mm-hmm. because they know us. And as you pointed out, we've been here forever, but we work hard, we get the results. So just through the years of the training and the bringing it up, I can look back and I can see God's hand in everything I did, even through COVID, because even through COVID, as an injury attorney, people are not on the roads. They're not going out.
Yeah.
And there's hundreds of lawyers, claiming to be injury guides. Mm-hmm. But God always provided us through COVID. We always didn't have everything we wanted, but we always had enough. Mm-hmm. We were always provided for. So I think that shaped me as well during that period of time. So that gave me more strength, more resolve in a very different way. That even though I'm getting older, but the point of it is there's at no time can God not mold a person and not shape a person, and you're influenced by the conditions. So going to high school, going to college, going into agriculture, because that's what I liked. Mm-hmm. And then going into law school, God just has opened doors for me that whole time. I used to practice, I would work 7 days a week, 15-hour days, 18-hour days in the beginning. And I worked that hard because in law school, I had to work. I wasn't a great student in high school, and so when I got to college, I had to work long hours. In law school, I worked long hours. So then when I got out of law school, it was very easy for me to transition into working 15, 18 hours a day, because that's what I studied in school.
Yeah.
I mean, I had to study, and it was just a resolve. It was a focus. And then my relief, I do Ironman. Okay. So I'm an Ironman, and so I'm a triathlete. And so I was training for Kona last year, and my shoulder got really messed up. So, I mean, I'm in rehab. I just had massive reconstruction surgery.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to work on this. So I should be training for Kona again in another couple of months for this year. We'll see.
Awesome.
But so it's just it's the mind, it's the focus, it's just the heart of God, having just a heart for Jesus, and for having that at a young age all the way through. That really molded and shaped me. So I can look at my life, and I can just you just see God's hand on it, and just weaving my relationship with Legacy and going to Legacy. I mean, that's just God's hand, just submitting to God's hand and saying, okay, I've got all these different options, and then God just letting that pathway open up, letting doors open. I mean, and I think that's what's important for people listening to your podcast as well, is when you say, oh, I got to make a decision what I want to do, just put it out there and see what options you have. And as time goes on, the options become clearer, and your choices become clearer, and the pathway is very clear. The cases that come into our office is very clear.
Okay. Understood.
So that's how it happened. I mean, it took me and it will continue taking me a lifetime of still growing, of still believing. And you just look back and I go, how does that happen? How does a guy from Berlin High School end up to where I'm at? Mm-hmm. And what I really recognize is that in the next, and I hope this doesn't ever happen to me, but I mean, foreseeable it could, because it happens to a lot of people as you get older, is that now I can drive whatever I want. Mm-hmm. I can drive whatever I want, any form of transportation. Mm-hmm. But at that point in time, my form of transportation will probably be a wheelchair. Mm-hmm. And you too. Mm-hmm. So we end up in the same spot. Mm-hmm. We can stay any place I want to stay, any place. I can stay in any hotel, any resort, any place I want in the entire world. But when that time comes, we're going to be in the same place. It's going to be a hospital bed. Mm. Yeah. And we can have as many people work for us now, and have people serve us and help us. At the end of the day, and at that point, when that point in time comes, we're going to have a nurse or nurses providing for us.
Yeah, or some type of caregiver, yeah.
And when that point in time comes, right now, I can eat wherever I want, go to the nicest restaurants I want to go to, be served incredibly well. But when that point in time comes, there'll be a tube in us. Mm, yeah. Whether it be a feeding tube or some type of IV. So that, we have to think about those things. Yeah, so sure. How do we make a difference in life? Mm. How can we impact? So that's what I think about, and that's what I keep in mind, the humility, because at some point in time, why do I need another something? Because I can use those funds over here. And people say, well, David, you have the money anyway. We don't. Nobody has. I mean, to be able to give what we give, it's all because of God's grace and through realizing that what we have is something we have a duty, an obligation to give back. Mm-hmm. And that's what we do. Okay.
That is incredible. You amaze me with everything that comes out of your mouth. It's crazy. So after 40 years of practicing law, what's changed the most in personal injury cases over the 40 years?
So the biggest change, the law is basically the same. And so what we do is we are always practicing cutting edge ways AI is entering the legal field now, to where AI is probably the biggest change. Well, okay, let me back up. So you had Google, and you had Google reviews. I would have had thousands and thousands of Google reviews. I just didn't understand or appreciate how Google moves the world. I just never understood that, because I thought, okay, everybody knows me, I've been here, but if you don't stay up with technology, you get left behind. And so it's very important for us to stay, have our names out there, make sure people know who we are. A name recognition, it's called branding, where people, we're branded as local as red and green. People know me, they see me, they know who I am, because we stay in front of it. We stay in front of the public, we stay in front of what we're doing, we stay in front of Google. We have, if you look to our Facebook, you'll see who we are, and you'll know who we are. You'll see our testimonies from our clients. I never did testimonies. And so we'll do a 5-10 second testimony of our clients, and then the Google reviews. So that was a big deal. That was a big change, and trying to keep up with that. And now AI, where AI will assist attorneys with helping with the legal writing. I don't necessarily know what that means, except they plug in data, you scan in records and reports, and Google will actually generate a report. The danger with that is we had a company out of India that said, hey, we will provide an Indian doctor, a real MD doctor, that will look at the records and give you a report. So for X amount of dollars, we'd heard some other attorneys had used this and said, yeah, they had success with it. So we tried it. And what we found out was it was AI generated. It wasn't prepared by a doctor. And some of the critical facts were wrong. And so, but we looked at it, and it didn't pass the smell or taste test. It didn't look right. It looked too good. And so I have everything vetted, from our doctors to everyone, from our reports. So we always get a second opinion, a third opinion, a fourth opinion, whatever it takes, because our resources are endless, and we'll spend whatever we need to spend. We don't hold back. And so we'll hire the best that there is. So we hired another doctor, and he said, hey, this is not right. So we actually were at a seminar and a conference out in a trucking conference out in Nashville. So that's another thing we do to keep up with things and how things have changed. You've got to stay up with the rules, the regulations. You've got to know exactly what you're looking for. So again, it's precision shooting. It's marksmanship. It is sniper. You've got to know exactly what that target is, exactly what you're looking for. You go in, you extract the information, and so that's something we always are working on, is honing in on our skills. So continuing legal education, learning, reading, talking to other colleagues, interaction is how we do that. And so that's important to do. But AI is taking over in a phenomenal way, and it's getting better with regards to the legal field. So that's cutting edge. And so it's something that I'm not going to deal with, but the people that take over my office, that they're going to be having to deal with AI.
Yeah, later on down the road, it's taking over for sure in all fields. What type of cases hit you the hardest on a more personal level?
They all do.
All of them?
All of them.
Okay.
I mean, you can have, I guess the ones that really hit the hardest is when you have a baby that's killed, someone 3 and 4 and 5 and just little babies.
Yeah.
And I think that's the hardest to see happen. Then you have these cataclysmic injuries, and you have these families that are just destroyed, they're devastated. So those are difficult. And so the way we get through that is because we feel the pain. we feel we get into their shoes, we get into their lives, we get a complete understanding of who this person was, who the loved one was that died. It's not superficial with us. We want to know who that person is. What did they like? What did they do? Were they with their family? What did they like? What activities did they like? What was their enjoyment of life? So we want to know everything about that person, and we get into that into that family and into who we're representing, so we understand it. And so when you do that, it's extremely painful. It's extremely hard. And so the way some of my other attorneys, they just they just have nightmares. They have PTSD, really. In fact, we've had other attorneys that just quit and say, "I got PTSD. I cannot handle this. This is not for me." And we've had a lot of attorneys who just can't cope with what we do.
Yeah.
And so the way that I've been able to do that is just through Jesus Christ, through opening up where you have tragedy and you can find hope in hopelessness, where you can find a purpose where no purpose is, where you can find a pathway where no pathway exists, where you can take a broken family and try to heal that family, or a family gets healed, that you can take a situation that is just the most horrific situation and you can make it into a blessing. Okay. That may sound real strange, but there's just ways that we do that, and we always find a way. We have always found a way, and that's just because of through Christ working in us. And people might listen to your podcast say, I just don't buy it, I don't get it. Nobody can have that kind of faith. We do. It's in us. It's in the marrow of my bones, and so that's how we do it. And then it's just through Jesus Christ and through the Holy Spirit, just coming up with opportunities. I mean, stuff that we think of and how we manage and maneuver through these cases, it's through God's help. Because there's no way that a guy from Berlin, New Mexico, who's not supposed to go to college, who's not supposed to, who's not supposed to be what we built this practice into. And it was something that we really, that I envisioned, saying I was going to be at the pinnacle of injury attorneys in the country at my age. I never thought about that.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't. I just worked hard. I continued to be a good servant. I provided for others, and I took care of other people, and I took care of God's people, and those people took care of me.
Amen. All right. A couple more questions here, and then I'll cap it off with some rapid fire at the end, which are pretty fun questions. What would you tell someone who's scared or unsure about calling a lawyer after an accident?
So we get that a lot, is that, do I call? Just call us. We're just people. We're going to talk to you. There's nothing to be concerned or afraid of. And if you think, oh, well, I don't want to hire, it's fine. We can help you. We can guide you. We can, if it's outside of what I think we handle, we'll refer people out. I refer so many people out too. Is that there's things that are just not something we can handle, but we can give a resource of where to go. But don't be afraid. And the next question is when? Now. If it happened, pick up the phone, call us. We're sensitive. Let us take that responsibility. Let us take that burden away to where you can focus on your family. You can focus on the grieving. You can focus on your loss of the loved one. You can focus on the steps to go through the healing process. Let us take that burden. Let us absorb that. We know how to handle it. We know what to do. And we'll take care of the legal aspect of it. We'll take care of the investigation. We'll keep you up to date. Do not burden yourself with that. Let us take care of you. That's what we do. That's what we're here for.
Okay. All right. And the last question here before rapid fire. When people in New Mexico talk about David Chavez years from now and your law firm, what do you hope they say?
He was a man of God.
Okay. All right. I love it.
Faithful servant, and I did a well job.
Okay.
I served Christ. That I continued throughout, and I didn't waver.
Okay, I love it. That's a humble answer. So we've reached the last round of questions here, rapid fire, and we'll kick it off. Red or green chili?
Red.
That was quick. All right, we didn't go too much into the ranch roots for you, but ranch or courtroom?
Ranch.
Okay. One word that defines your law practice?
Tenacious.
Okay, wonderful. What's the best lesson you've learned over your 40 years in law?
Love God.
Okay.
God first.
Okay. And last one, describe New Mexico pride in one word.
Always have hope. Hopefulness.
Hopefulness. Okay. Wonderful. Well, thank you for everything, for the time you've taken out today out of your really busy schedule. The last thing I like to do to wrap the podcast up is if there's anything, well, you've pretty much said it all. I usually invite the guest, open mic here, but you've pretty much said it all. If there's any plugs or shout outs that you want to throw out to people or businesses or companies that you feel is important, we can do that now.
Sure. I think that New Mexico, we have such a great state. We have so much to give. We have so much to offer, is that we can do so much more. We can be such a great state. And I just, I have the faith and the confidence in New Mexicans, and we want to be a part of your life. So if there's an injury case, you have a question concerning an accident or injury or loss of a loved one, call us immediately. We're here to help you, and we're appreciative of the fact that our community has supported us and the state, because we travel around the state and handle these cases. We handle cases from all over the state, from the northern part of the state to the southern part of the state, from the east and the west. So we just cover the entire state. So when people need us, we'll be there. I'll be there. It doesn't take me long to travel anywhere in New Mexico. And again, with Zoom, we can get right out to you. We can talk to you immediately. So we're here to serve, and we're going to continue generations to come. And thanks for being part of this, and thanks for what you do.
Of course, yeah, it's my pleasure. That's a great transition to the last part. Where can the audience, followers contact you? Social media, emails, phone numbers? So
our phone number at the office is 505-865-9696. Go to the law firm of David C. Chavez website, and then go follow us on Facebook. We've got thousands and thousands of friends. We just did Comic-Con, and we were the main sponsor in Comic-Con.
That was a great poster board you got out there.
We own Comic-Con, and so generally our posts that we get, we trend about 15,000 views. So that's a lot. I mean, we trend about 15,000 within a few days. Mm-hmm. And so with Comic-Con, we had like 1,000, and it's a big deal. Mm-hmm. And so I was talking to Jolie, who works here, and she does our social media. And I said, "What's going on?" She goes, "All your followers, David, are 35 and older." She says, "None of them understand what Comic-Con is." So I said, "Oh, okay." So we got to appeal to a younger group. So we started doing TikTok and Snapchat.
Okay.
Something like that. So we're gonna get into those venues as well. And then, another thing I guess I should have done earlier on was do podcasts, because I've been asked to do but I just don't have time. But podcast is another way that you get the messaging out. So I mean, we've been here for about an hour or so.
Yeah.
So by what you do and how you get the messaging out, and people that and this is good for me when you hear me talking, maybe I'll put you to sleep, and
no.
Instead of reading a book, I read a book and I get one page. I mean, I started a book probably 10 years ago. I still haven't gotten halfway through it because I started and then I fall asleep. I read 2 pages and I'm zonked.
Yeah, that's how I am for my bedtime routine. I start a book and I fall asleep first couple of pages. But no, I'm really grateful for the opportunity. Again, I know you're really busy, and I'm honored to have you on the podcast. So I'll go ahead and at the end of the show, I'll go ahead and just get your information, put it in the description, and we'll carry off from there. But thank you very much, and I hope you guys got a lot of knowledge and education out of this podcast today. And until next time, we'll see you guys on another episode of Small Talk on the Mats. Bye, guys.